In society today, we are being attacked constantly with inauthentic conversations. Fakeness, trying to look cool, trying to be somebody we're not. That is why the Damn Dude podcast is here to have the authentic conversations that need to be had in a way that will make you think and say, Damn Dude.
Damn Dude.
What up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude podcast.
Damn Dude.
Damn, dude.
I'm your host, California Cal, and this is season 4, episode 23. And welcome, everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And you guys, we're going to kick this one off with a bang. We've got a very, very, very special guest in the house. The one, the only, Sebastian Hernandez.
Damn Dude.
What is good, brother? What is good, man?
What's up, my dude? What's up, man? I'm glad to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Fuck yeah, dude. Thanks for taking the time to do this.
Heck yeah, dude. Always, man. You know that every time I'm in San Diego, we got to make time to do this.
Yes, absolutely. And it's cool now, too, because when you would first come, it was just an episode on mine. Now it's like, okay, is this going to be for my podcast or your podcast or both? Or how do we, so it's such a cool thing to be able to connect on and relate to and kind of like play in this world also. It's like, oh, okay, we don't even know what we're doing with our podcast really, but it's like, all right, I just know I'm supposed to, and I got some shit and people tell me I should, and I tell myself I should, so I do.
That's it, right?
Yeah. Dude, so we just recorded a fire-ass podcast, I just realized when the time people listen to this versus when we recorded this is going to be kind of different, but we did just record a podcast for your episode, Ignite the Spark Within. Everybody go check that out. Killer podcast. I'm a fan of it myself. And when we have podcasts or I have my own and it's like, I actually like the show, I'm like, ooh, okay, fuck yeah, that was really good. But I just want to say and just give you the credit like publicly too and give you your props for keeping going with the podcast. We just recorded episode 94. Dude. That's fucking sick. So like, if you guys remember, and you guys remember when I first put Sebastian on blast, it was like, dude, all right, well, like, here's your podcast, like, start. Here's your first episode. And he's taken it and gone with it and done it every single fucking week since then. And it's coming up on 2 years now, dude. So fucking props to you, man. Like, that's commendable, honorable, and it's like, yeah, okay, you know what? Yeah. To let us know, like, how is it that you stayed doing that? Like, how and why did you maintain consistency with it?
Thank you, dude. Yeah, well, first and foremost, man, you play a huge role in that, right? Because you've been doing this, 4 years?
Coming up.
All right, dude. So lead by example, right? So you've been leading by example, and I remember, like, the biggest holdup that I had from actually committing to doing a podcast was, like, if I start this, I can't stop. You know what I mean? So just like, so there's always that hesitation of just like, oh, am I really ready to like fully commit to this, like, and go all in? And once we did that one episode, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take this as that, right? Mm-hmm. And I think I've recorded every single week, and there's one specific week that I had to delete that episode because the person that interviewed was like, no, I want you to delete that. I'm just like, oh, man, you just ruined my streak. But besides that, it's just been, I guess, is the really, like, this is my way of like engaging with audience, right? And engaging with the tribe and engaging with my community. And it's like, sometimes I'm not much to be on social media. Now, recently, I've been like really putting out content, but I figure like, all right, what's one way that I can communicate and like get my stuff across to my tribe, to the community, right? And it becomes that. So it becomes like my access to just talk and communicate with the tribe and communicate with the community. So it feels good, you know?
Yeah. Dude, fuck yeah, man. Absolutely. And like the joke is like, well, shit, what is it like? Men, instead of seeking therapy, they start a podcast. Women, instead of seeking therapy, they bake sourdough. Or like, I forget what it was. But like, it really is fucking healing, dude. And it feels so good. Like, yeah. Especially like how I can relate to that is like, as I'm sharing, I'm just kind of like something's just coming out of me. I don't really know what I'm saying or where I'm going with it, but like realness is coming out of me, and I'm like, and I say something, I'm like, why the fuck did I say that? You know, and I'm listening back, I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what was that? Like, what did I just excuse or kind of glaze over or like not take ownership for by saying it this way? Yeah. I'm like, fuck. Okay, but it's like such a powerful tool to really be able to like listen to yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what you believe or don't believe. And you're like, well, I just said that. That's not even what I believe or how I, you know, it's like, all right, well, let me learn how to communicate that.
Yeah.
So, dude, no, that's fucking cool, man. And that's kind of perfect. Like, I wanted to make this episode a little different. I just wanted to ask you like different questions about different topics or subjects or things, just to kind of paint the picture on it and to see where you come from with your answers and to see how powerful it is that your natural answer about these normal questions to show people like what it looks like to be the example of like where your thinking is at and why it is and why it's tuned this way. So I kind of want to just be able to paint a different type of picture in this episode than like, okay, let's talk about this and that. It's like, no, like, let's kind of boil it down a little bit, like simplify it and just like get your take on things. And I think your take on things will just paint some crazy picture and extract some magic.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for now I'm a little bit nervous. I'm like, oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot,
bro. You should know the theme by now.
Like, you should at least give me preparation to like think about the words.
See, no, this is why it's perfect. That is exactly why. It's that. Because also, it's like when I have a conversation with you in real life, like you don't know what I'm gonna say, and I don't know what you're gonna say. But what I get out of you whenever I say whatever the fuck I say to you, it's something powerful and like valuable. So I'm like, okay, I want to paint this picture for everybody to show what it looks like to have when you do personal development work, you take the path of self-mastery, your answers are going to come out a certain way and they're going to come from a certain place. So that's really what I'm like getting at here. Okay. So, and it's like, you kind of like touched on it in your first answer and talking about the podcast is like, and this is coming from me, and I'm sure many people who know you personally would ask this the same way, is how did you become such a value provider?
How did I become such a value provider?
Yeah, or a person who just offers value at all times when you go out.
Interesting. Well, my immediate response is like, that's what I was told to do. Right? Like,
by who?
By my mentors, right? Especially like at the beginning, is just like, if you want to make an impact with people, provide value, right? Just provide value. Just be somebody of value, right? And just like, just go. And I feel like the best value I can provide is my own walking the walk, right? And so just like walking and doing the experience and like going through my own experiences, being vulnerable. And in my capacity to be vulnerable, like it just comes out naturally to just speak on what's there for me and what my breakthroughs have been and what my breakdowns have been through, right? And just being able to be that and see when I get all of the, just like people saying, you know what, I was doing this and then your voice went into my head and I was just like, wait, what? Right? And just like, oh, I was thinking this and then this person said this. I was like, oh yeah, that's what Sebastian would say. I'm like, wait, what, really? Right. And so like realizing that, oh, wow, like what I say sometimes really does carry weight and like people like remember that. And I'm oftentimes oblivious of it. Like I'm just like, all right, sure, whatever. Right. And so I think really it's being able to be somebody of value. It's how can I potentially support people and empower people and remind people of how fucking cool they are and how cool they can be and just how limitless they can be and how sometimes our worst enemy is when we look in the mirror and we're looking at ourselves with all the limiting beliefs and all the bullshit stories that we tell ourselves. And it's not until we have somebody that's willing to say, yeah, I hear all the BS, but like I see you and I see what you're capable of. Right. And so being able to believe in people, I feel like it comes naturally because of all the people that believed in me when I didn't. And I see the value in that. Right. And so being able to like to pay it forward. Right. And see the value in like really believing in people and like what that makes as an impact on people.
Wow. Dude, that's badass. How did you know to take that advice seriously in the first place?
I think again, it's being able to like the feedback loop, right? Which is like so many times people will tell me like, oh yeah, like this goes back to like when I was in finances, right? And I had my agency and I had like my agents and they'd be like, yo, remember that training that you did? And like, I got this and I got that. I was just like, really? You guys were paying attention? Right? And so it's like, sometimes I'm just like creating to see like what sticks. Right. And when I get the feedback is like, oh, yeah, this stuck and this stuck, is like, all right, well, then keep going, keep sharing, because obviously it's working for some people, not for everybody. Right. And it's like also like really getting to the point where it's just like, I know that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm more like an ayahuasca drink. Right. It's just like when I first read that, I was just like, yeah, that's definitely me. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I can definitely be some ayahuasca.
No, I agree, bro. And it's like, it's funny because it's like the common theme of like the people who like got your back here in San Diego that like I'm in contact with. It's just, and like John, like Timon said it at your speaking event, which was like, dude, if you're being afraid to talk to Sebastian, you're being a little bitch, like, because you know he's gonna fucking tell you, like, and he's not gonna tell you, he's gonna ask you into it where you are like, oh, I got this for myself, fuck, and it's like, damn, because it's like you bring out the power in people, and that scares people, you know, our own power scares us, so like, in many ways, I see at times.
Yeah, that's so interesting, and I love Timon. Right, but it's just like, and it's like, and never do I ever want to have people be afraid to step into their power, and it's scary to step into our power.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But I feel like, and oftentimes it's like I try to be very mindful and very careful on how I bring people's power like to the surface. Mm-hmm. Right, because oftentimes I hear from other people, it's like, yo, you're too direct sometimes, and that can be counterintuitive for certain people, right? But again, this is where it's just like the people that know me know that I'll be very direct, but it's always coming from a place of love, coming from a place of like, really, like, I stand for you, like I believe in you, and I'm just not gonna let you get away with your bullshit. Yeah,
dude. Know? Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I think that is very clear for most people who relate to you, you know, and it's like, that's the person who cares the most is the person who's willing to hold that space and to stand for that for people. It's like, yo, this is uncomfortable. Yeah. Would you rather have it not? You know, it's like you can take this thing that sucks and turn it and transform it into something beautiful. Yeah. So dude, that's cool, man. I like that. So just kind of, like I said, we're painting a picture here. Explain to us your take on eating meals.
On eating meals?
Yeah, what do you do before you eat meals, every time you eat? What's your process, why, and what's your take on when you get a plate of food?
Okay. So, see, I feel like I think I know where this is going. So every time I have a plate of food or any type of food, really, I always do this prayer, right? And it's like my prayer of like recognizing like, oh, I'm so grateful for this food. And so it's a prayer that I learned from Michael Winkelman, right? Which is, thank you, God, for this food. Thank you, God, for this food. Thank you, God, for this food. Thank you for the hands that prepared this food. Thank you for the resources to be able to have this food. Thank you for the process of getting from its roots all the way to our plates. Bless our families, bless our friends, bless our tribes, and may everyone eat as delicious as we are today. Right? And it's the condensed version of what I learned from him. But I think that was really even more highlighted once I started to do Ramadan, right? So I'm not Muslim, and I loved participating in Ramadan, right? Because to me, it's like there's this recognition of like reminding myself of like what it means to be hungry. Right. And sometimes when we have access to food all the time, like it's oblivious to us, like what it means to be hungry. Yeah. Right. And so it's hard to connect when somebody tells you, hey, I'm hungry. Can you buy me a plate of food? It's just like, no, I can't right now or whatever. Right. Because it's just like we can't relate. And going through Ramadan is just like, oh, fuck, this shit sucks, right? And so being able to like fully tap into that, it's just like, oh, man. So when I do get that plate of food, it's just like, thank you. And like really being grateful for it and reminding myself that there's people that don't get that food. Right. And so there's like really being grateful for it. And not just that, but then it's also like the energy that I'm putting into the food. Right. Like this is where it's just like even with water, sometimes like I know that there's places where you shouldn't drink tap water. Right. And I'm just like, well, I need to drink water. Right. And so immediately I'm just like, I don't care how dirty this water is. Like, I'm going to bless it. And I'm going to put all of my woo woo stuff into it. And that way, if I drink it, it's perfect. Right. Like I remember I was actually at Mission Trails and one of the like rivers or little streams. And I was like super thirsty. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm drinking it.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I can't remember who I was with, but they're like, bro, you can't be drinking that. I'm like, I don't care. I'm thirsty. I blessed it. Right. And so for me, it's also like adding my own magical touch to it. Like, nope, I'm going to bless my food so that it has energy, it has good juju, it has like good stuff into it, no matter what.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that answer?
Yeah. No, that's dope. Exactly. It's just yeah. No, I love that. That's cool, man. And I mean, it's like clearly you know what it's like to be hungry, and I think that's where the real gratitude comes. You know, and it's like I think we shared in previous podcasts where your story of smelling the bread, and it's like I'm fucking getting that, you know. Yeah. And you guys just go back and listen to the old episodes. But you know, it's like that appreciation, it shows up in real life, and I think the thing that's so cool is like you invite everybody in, and it's just like it doesn't matter who's around or who's not. Like it's just the coolest thing, and everybody appreciates it and feels so good. So the reason that I ask that question, again, is to just paint the picture of where you come from when you approach these everyday things. And it's like the common person doesn't even know to consider that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like a lot of times like just knowing the right questions to ask is like the hardest part of fucking like doing something, you know, or growing appreciation. So I think it's like you've asked yourself the right questions, which equals the state of like gratitude and being a fucking good person and like somebody who's providing value to wherever you're going. And it's like you're providing value to the person who went and prepared the food, who made the food, who the whole thing, you know. And it's like it's giving reverence to all the people in the process. And now everybody who's there while you're saying this, it's like, oh shit, damn, I've been ungrateful as fuck. Damn, what else am I not appreciating? So it's like, that's what's so fascinating, I think, about you is like your value providing it's happening while you're just doing normal stuff. So that I think that's another like angle that I'm like getting at with all this. So switching gears again, what's your relationship to trust, and what does trust mean to you?
Oh man, I think that is one of the most valuable things that that's one thing I do not take for granted. Like I feel like the best gift somebody can give me is their trust.
Damn.
Like that is the absolute best fucking honorable gift, because to give somebody trust is fucking hard. Right? Especially when people when we've experienced so many backstabbing, so many lies, so many stuff like being taken advantage of. And so when I feel that somebody trusts me, oh dude, I feel like, thank you. Like that's one of the things I always say is like, thank you for your trust. Thank you for your trust, right? Whether I'm on a coaching call and someone is being extremely vulnerable and sharing things with me that they've never shared with anybody in their entire life. Like, that's like trust. Thank you for trusting me, that you can rely on me to safeguard this. Damn. Right? Thank you for trusting me to be in your home. Thank you for trusting that I'm not going to take advantage of you. Thank you for trusting me. And it's like, that's the biggest fucking gift. Right? And so it's like, I do anything to like protect and safeguard that trust. Right? Because it's like, I know that trust is more fucking, like you can't buy trust.
Yeah.
You can't buy it. It's like you can't buy loyalty. The moment you buy loyalty, like it's no longer loyalty, right? The moment you can't buy it, then it's like it's not there. Same thing with trust. You can't buy trust. The moment you buy it, it's just like then it's not really authentically there, right? And so it's one of those things that are just like invaluable. Like it's just, yeah. So for me, trust is extremely important. And when I get to trust others, like I understand the value in that. right? And so it's like being able to like see that and reciprocate that, and just like it's just something that I truly believe it's such a beautiful gift to be given. Somebody's trust, dude, like that's the best gift. Better than anything is trust.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Because it gives you access to things that most people can't even fathom, can't even buy, even if they wanted to. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, trust is extremely important to me.
Dude, wow, man, that's powerful. That's fucking beautiful, dude. That gives me chills. Like, I'm just like, oh shit, yeah, wow, fuck, yeah, dude. So, what advice would you have for somebody who's having trouble trusting themselves?
Ooh, okay. Well, I guess I really feel like trusting yourself really comes down to like integrity, right? Like your ability to like honor your word, your ability to be real with yourself. Right? It's like, that's the trust, is can I trust myself to do what's right? Right? Can I trust myself to call myself out when I need to? Can I trust myself to be real where I need to be real? Can I trust myself to be real where I haven't been being real? Right? And so I feel like that's also part of that trust, is like, well, what is my relationship to myself and with my integrity, with doing what's right when nobody's watching? And I think that's really what it is. It's like, when nobody's watching, can I trust myself to do what's right? Not because I'm being watched, but on the contrary, because nobody is watching, can I trust myself, right, to do what's right, right? And so I think it's a self-reflection question of how do I build that muscle, because it's like willpower, right? It's a muscle, and if you don't practice the muscle, then you're not gonna get strong on it. Right. And so it's exercising that. All right. Can I rely on myself to do what's right? Right. Can I catch myself when I'm doing something wrong, or when I get called out and I didn't even realize I was doing something wrong? Can I rely on myself to autocorrect, to readjust?
Damn. Yeah.
See? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's absolutely, that's cool. It's like early on is when I'm seeing my own journey, and it's like, damn, early on, I didn't even know to think to trust myself or not. So it's like hearing that, I'm like, fuck, had I could just been able to hear that, fuck, I could have done things so much differently and more positive. It is what it is, but like, fuck, that's powerful. I think that can help a lot of people, because it's a real place to start. It's like, it doesn't require any money. It doesn't require whatever. It's like, well, can you get up and make your bed? And it's like, if you could do that, there's evidence you can trust yourself. Can you brush your teeth by a certain time? Can you do, like these little things? And I think people take for granted, like the daily tasks you have to do can be transformed into this like powerful thing of establishing trust and wins. And it's like, dude, if you wake up and you do a certain amount of things automatically, if you just wrote it on a list and checked it off, it's like now all those things you were doing anyways is now a win. And it's like, because you just stack credibility for yourself and integrity. I did that, even though you were going to automatically do it. It's like, wake up and go pee. It doesn't take any effort, but you're like, there's a level of integrity to having it written, checking it off, being like, boom. Yeah. And I could feel when I get out of whack, it's because I'm like not keeping track of myself, and it starts getting scattered, and that confidence goes further and further away. Yeah. So yeah, man, no, that's cool. I like that. So then next question is, what's your take in relationship with loyalty?
Ooh, loyalty. Loyalty is an interesting one, right? Because I've been loyal to people I shouldn't have been loyal to, right? Yeah. And so loyalty is a tricky one, because I think first we have to be loyal to ourselves. And I think that is so concrete. Like, I have to be loyal to what's true to me before I can be loyal to somebody else. Because if I'm loyal to somebody else, like, what's to say that I've been loyal to the wrong people, right? That didn't necessarily have my best interest, didn't have like the best insight for me, but I was loyal to them, right? And so loyalty is a tricky one. And when I feel like there's somebody that's loyal to me, it's again, it goes hand in hand with the trust, right? And understanding that at any moment, somebody's loyalty isn't expected, right? Like, if I expect somebody's loyalty, well, then there's some underlying feature that's like anticipating that it's always going to be there. Wow. Right? Damn. And I feel like there's something to that. Like, it's like, no. I don't expect people's loyalty, right? Like when it's given, it's because it's naturally there, not because I forced it.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel that oftentimes loyalty is like forced upon people. Like, you need to be loyal to me. You need to be loyal to the flag. You need to be loyal to the country. You need to be loyal to these things. Right. It's just like, but now it's like, now I feel like I need to versus authentically I want to.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's that concept of loyalty is like it's earned. Right. And if it's earned, then it can also be it could also be lost. Mm-hmm. Right. And so understanding that allows me to be in a place of like earning it at all times versus being sometimes taking it for granted. Right. Yeah. And I feel like that's where it's like it gets into like this gray area of just like, well, I just expect people to be loyal to me. It's just like, what? Nah, like I earn people's loyalty, and not because I demand it, but because I've earned it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I feel like loyalty is that tricky where it's just like, I'd rather people be loyal to themselves than loyal to me. And if you being loyal to you as you have loyalty towards me, well, then we're in alignment.
Dude, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
wow.
Again, it's a hard pill to swallow because oftentimes I feel like we demand loyalty, but that's an insecurity.
Fuck. Yeah.
Right? It's just like, I need you to be there for me. I need you. That's dependency. Mm-hmm. Right? Versus like, no. Thank you for honoring yourself. And you honoring yourself, that means that there is true loyalty from a place of, no, there's synchronicity. There's alignment. We're on the same page. Right? Versus like this this statement of like, oh, I need your loyalty. Like you need to sign this to be loyal, or right? Like, or in gangs, right? Like you need to do this to be right. It's just like, nah, like for me, there's something so powerful of like the unwritten agreement that comes from a place of like authenticity and like realness. Like, nah, I'm loyal to you because it's an alignment to be loyal to you. Right? Because we're on the same page. I see this and I actually like really genuinely want the best for you. Not I'm loyal to you because you told me I needed to, or because of the things that you provide me. Right? It's just like, no. That gets, it's now a superficial type of loyalty. And that superficial is like that, what I was talking about earlier. Like if you buy loyalty, then that's not loyalty.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like, think about like all the people that you have around you when you have everything. Right. Mm-hmm. When you got money, oh man, friends are everywhere. Yeah. And they'll tell you, oh, I'm loyal to you. I got your back. I got this. But then when you got nothing, that's when you really see, oh, wait, who was really there for you?
Yeah.
Right. And I had to learn that the hard way when I was going through my own stuff. That was just like, oh, wait, when I was good, everybody was there. And then when I went down to hell, then it was just like, oh, wait, there's only very few select people. Mm-hmm. So what were they really loyal to? Damn. Were they loyal to me, or were they loyal to what I was able to provide them?
Yeah.
Right? And so that to me is like that authenticity of like, I don't demand or expect loyalty from nobody. And when I don't expect it, it shows up.
Fuck, dude.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. Fuck, that's good, man. That's really good. Wow, dude. Yeah, I like that. That's really cool. So then on the counter to that, what's your take on cutting ties with people?
Alignment. Again, it's alignment. And it's okay to no longer be in alignment with certain people. Right? Like just yesterday, it was a close friend of mine. Well, he used to be a super close friend of mine. And to the point where I completely forgot it was his birthday yesterday. Like, nah. Right? Somebody else brought it to my attention. I'm like, oh, yeah. Huh. Interesting. Back in the day, like I'd be like gun-ho, like, yo, I got to check on this fool. Right? And it's just like, nah, we just went our separate ways, and that's cool. Mm-hmm. Right? And just like, I'm loyal to me. I got to be loyal to what's in alignment with me, what's important to me. And sometimes I guess that could be seen as selfish, but then it's like, that's self-love.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's that self-love is just like, nah, I need to take care of me. And I need to make sure that I'm in alignment with me. And if somebody's character, if somebody's morals, if somebody's values, if somebody's way of being is no longer in the same frequency as mine, well, then it's cool. Right? Mm-hmm. No hard feelings. Right? No hard feelings whatsoever. It's like, I love you from the place of unconditional love, that I can accept your path and where you're at. And it's cool. Yeah. Right? I keep going on my path. Right? And so cutting ties is like, sometimes we need to cut ties. right? Because sometimes people are not what we need in our life at the moment, and that's okay, right? And I feel like sometimes we're actually on the contrary, we're willing to stick around with people that shouldn't be in our life. And it seems to be easier to stick to people that shouldn't be than to actually honor our truth and be like, no, this person is no longer good for me. I gotta honor myself, right? So I feel like it's easier to stick around with people that are toxic than to actually be true with ourselves and be like, no, I gotta honor myself and my truth and what's good for me.
Yeah, I agree. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's so hard? Like, what makes that so hard? Because, well, hold on, sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
Like, because you coach a lot of people, and in different languages and in different cultures, so you got a really good insight on this.
Yeah.
You know, so like, what's your take on that?
The moment it starts being, it's no longer healthy, right? Like, why? Wait, what was the question?
Like, what's your take on why it's so hard to face?
Yeah, because of the dependency. Right? There becomes a dependency towards certain people, the loyalty, right? Like, but I'm loyal to this person. Like, but like this person depends on me, right? Or I depend on this person, right? And so there's usually that attachment, right? That dependency, that codependency, right? Where just like, it's like we look at like sometimes toxic relationships. Right? I know this relationship isn't good for me. I know it's making me a bad person. I know it's not making me any better, but that's all I know. So it's scarier to walk away and jump into the unknown than to just put up with a toxic knowing.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just like, I know it's toxic, but I know what this is, and so I'll put up with this, then have to take a risk and jump into something completely oblivious or completely mysterious and unknown and have to deal with that uncertainty. Right? So it's like, at least I know the toxic features and I can just put up with it.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, no, dude, that's fucking deep, man. Like, you answered that very elegantly and simply, and it's like, that's really, really fucking deep and insightful, because that's like, to be able to just contextualize that is like a big deal. And I feel like if people could just understand that context, it's like people would just start freeing themselves from these loops.
Yeah.
You know, and like so many people, they'll acknowledge they're in a loop, but it's like, okay, well, look at what the loop is. Like, what's bringing you back to the beginning every single time in this, that it's not making it move forward, you know? Yeah. That's good, dude. So my next question is, what's your take on maintaining relationships? Like, how and what's your secret sauce about it? Because you have an incredible gift for maintaining and growing and making new relationships.
Yeah, that's an interesting, right? Because I feel like I can be so. I've heard this, like the saying goes, like low maintenance friends. Right. And it's like the friends that you don't need to call every day. You don't need to talk to every day. You can just every so often. But it's like when you do, it's like nothing changed. Right. And to me, like that's part of like the interdependency component. Right. Where just like I relate to people that like they're grown people, they're independent people, and we don't need to be in contact every single day so that they know that I really do appreciate them and I care about them. Right. And so it's this genuine, I really want the best for people. Right. And so when you have people in your life that want the best for you, like they stick out. Right. Versus the people that only call you when they need something from you. Right. And so when you're constantly being somebody of value and putting value into people, it's just like people want you to be around them. Right. And same thing. I want to be around people that want the best for me, that are constantly like wishing me good things, right? And so therefore it's just like, how do I become somebody that's constantly believing in people, right? And therefore it's like you become invaluable because you genuinely want the best for people, right? And when you look at the world, most people are filled with envy. Most people are filled with greed. Most people are like, they're like silently hating on you because of where you're at and what you're creating. And for me, I'm on the contrary. Like, I genuinely love to see people succeed, right? But it's because I'm so clear that somebody else's success has nothing to do with mine, right? Like, if somebody is successful, that doesn't take away from me being successful. If somebody's already made it, that doesn't mean I'm not going to make it. Right. And so genuinely, I love to see people succeed and love to be able to see them grow. And so when I see people, I am genuinely happy that where they're at and where they're up to and what they're creating. And I can be in a very shitty place, and that doesn't take away, or do I have some type of envy because, oh, well, they have. It's like, good. If anything, thank you for inspiring me to keep going after it. Right. And so when it comes to like sustaining relationships, is like sustaining the ultimate vision of where people can go. Right. And like holding that vision, being like a vision holder for people. And so when we get to connect again, it's just like, well, where you're at. All right, well, remember that conversation we had? Well, that's where we're going. So it's constantly like future pacing.
Yeah.
And like holding on to like, all right, we're growing and we're evolving. And so I may not see you, but when we do see each other, all right, how are we growing? How are we evolving? And so it's constantly standing inside of the ultimate vision, right? And it's just like the ultimate vision, this is where we're standing inside of. And so therefore, you now play a crucial piece to that future vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, absolutely. That's monumental. And I mean, that's how and why we're here today the way that we are in terms of like podcasting. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, well, fuck, I believe this. You're gonna let's go, dude. You know, I know you want this. You know, that sort of thing. And it's like, for us to be able to hold each other accountable for these things, it's like, it's a beautiful thing, because it's like, okay, like, when is this gonna come out? Rather than it's like, oh, what are you doing? How come you're it, like, rather than all this like stuff that's gonna pull me down, even though that's what most people would offer up for help. Oh, well, what's the matter? Da, da, da. It's like, rather like, all right, well, when are you gonna get it done? All right, what's the, you know, and it's forward moving.
Yeah.
Just in the instant and as a whole vision. So that's fucking cool, man.
As we're saying that, it's like what came to me, and this was part of like my training from Landmark, right, from the ILP. And it was, as a coach in ILP, it was always relating to people as their highest self, right? Always relating to people as their greatness, even when they're demonstrating all of their not greatness, right? And so just like being able to like see them for bigger than what they're currently at. And it's just like believing in people. And when people do that to me, it's just like, all right, cool. It's that reciprocity of like belief of like, oh, okay, we're growing. And it's just like, I see you doing what you're doing, but that's not how I relate to you. I relate to you as your greatness. I relate to you as your goodness. I relate to like all of the possibilities that could supersede where you think you're limited. And when we have people like that show up in our life, like that's critical, because oftentimes we're related to as our current circumstance.
Damn. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And when we relate it to as our current circumstance, well, then there's no room for growth. And so therefore, when we see certain people, it's just like, oh, well, this person sees me that way, so I can't really grow beyond that, right? Versus when we're around people that see us for our greatness, it inspires us to step into our greatness. It inspires us to keep going and keep growing, even if at the moment we have all this evidence that we're not.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Dude, that's really good. How do you see, like, in your opinion, how can somebody go from a judgmental mindset to how what we were just speaking on to wanting to see people win?
Yeah. I think compassion, right? And like really understanding the power of like everyone's walking their own path. Like everyone's in their stuff, right? And just like, if I can relate to like, I'm in my own path, what makes me any different than anybody else? Right. And so being able to be willing to understand that where they're at is where they're at, and it's part of their process. Right. And that's how they're dealing with what they're dealing with the tools that and the resources that they have. Right. And so it's being able to not look at it from a place of condemning, from a place of judging. Right. Because I know what it feels like to be condemned and to be judged and to be criticized. And it's like, I fucking hate that shit. Right. I hate being judged. I hate being criticized. I hate being condemned for what I'm doing, versus like being able to recognize like, this is where I'm at. It's my path. And so when I find people that see the greatness in me, it's like, oh man, I appreciate it. And so therefore it's like, all right, well then how do I return that to the world? How do I return that to people that unfortunately don't have anybody else that believes in them? Right? Like an alcoholic. People usually relate to an alcoholic like, oh, he's just an alcoholic. For me, it's like I look beyond them. It's like, well, what is the version of you that has transcended alcoholism? What does that version of you look like? And how do I continue to relate to you as that, not the alcoholic?
Damn.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden there's room for a possibility for that person to live inside of a world where he's no longer condemned by the alcoholism, where everybody else just continues to relate. It's just like, well, he's just an alcoholic. Well, he's just an alcoholic. Well, that's just the way he is. Like, it doesn't matter like what he does. Like people lose faith. People lose hope in people. And so when people lose hope in people, well, then it's going to be very challenging for that person to get out of that, especially when their entire environment is reminding them of how they're bad and wrong. Right. And in my case, I'm just like, no. Cool. That's where you're at. Cool. And like, that's not where you have to be. That's not, you're not stuck there. You can see beyond that. Right. And so it's willing to be able to see the greatness in people versus judging them for where they're at. Because if I judge you, I don't understand the process of growth.
Damn. Fuck. Yeah. Wow. Dude, wow. Fuck, that's crazy, man. I gotta sit on that. That's a trip. I like that.
Well, what did you just hear?
Oh man, I'm not even sure, honestly. Like, it just kind of slapped me across the face. I'm like, like, I don't know. It puts me in this place of like analyzing my own like judgment to how I relate to people. And like, I can see how it's on me to do the work to see the greatest in everybody. And like, I can see how there's times where it's like, I'm so quick to write people off because I'm like in me, I acknowledge that's where that person's at right now. And they're not held to this forever. But it's like, in real time, I'm like, well, I see you as that. And I'm like, I acknowledge you could be more, but you are this right now. I acknowledge this more, but it's like, there's a lack of flow in letting other people be their greatest selves. And that's funny because it's like letting other people be their greatest selves. I'm like, fuck, that's on me then. So it's like, I can see how in this last year, it's like I've retracted my energy and my being social and all that a lot. And that kind of going inward and like stop, I don't know. When I'm like not doing the work to be the best version of myself, it's now put into what others are capable and possible of, because now I'm looking through the lens of like, well, shit, I'm going through my shit. This person's going through their shit. It is what it is. Like, I'm not in a position to help this person, or they're not in a position to help me. So like, I can see like judgment can kind of cloud, or like where I use judgment incorrectly. Like in my belief, we're supposed to use judgment to assess danger and safety, and that's like the purpose of judgment, and to keep yourself safe, really, rather to assess the type of person that this person is, or like, oh, they're this way, and I don't know, that's what my brain sees. It's like, oh, and stuff as simple as like, oh, this homeless guy. It's like, well, no, that's not a homeless guy. That's fucking Kevin, or whatever the fuck his name is, and that's a human being. That's such and such's son. That's such and such's brother. That's such and such's dad, or whatever, and it's like, I can see how in time, at times, I let humanity like jade my view on people, and then so it's like, okay, I assess what is that, and then I look inward. I'm like, okay, well, I'm responsible for everything I fucking see and experience. So how can I show myself more love to where it's more natural that's what's going to emanate out of me, is this like space for people to be themselves and to be their highest possibility. Yeah.
To grow beyond, right? To grow beyond. Because it's like, I was talking to a buddy of mine. He drinks a lot, right? And he's considered himself an alcoholic, and he goes like, my whole family sees me as an alcoholic, right? But it's just like, all right, well, that's where you're at right now. Right. And it's just like, because I'm able to see him as the non-alcoholic version of himself, he now sees that, wait, that's possible? Mm-hmm. Wait. But like, everyone's always told me that I'm alcoholic. Everybody has always told me like, this is where I'm at, and this is what I am, and this is what I am, and this is what I am, and this is what I am. It's like, yeah, that's what you are right now. But do you see there's also a whole different version of you? Right. And so because I'm able to see that, I can see his changes where others completely are oblivious to the changes that he's making.
Yeah.
Because they only relate to him as an alcoholic. And so therefore, no matter what he does, even in his progress, he's still just an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Versus me, I'm like, oh, wow, you started to change that. Yes. You started to implement that. Yes. You started to do that. Yes. Right. And so I get to see where others are completely oblivious to his growth.
Right.
They're like, oh, wait, but that's just what he does. It's like, yeah, but that's the progress. That's the growth.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, but he's going to revert back. It's like, so what? That's part of the process.
Yeah.
That's the growth. And so all of a sudden, people, I would like to believe that when people are around me, they see the opportunity to evolve, to grow, and to know that they're not stuck. Mm-hmm. That, yeah, it's going to take fucking work. And yeah, there could be months, years of stagnation. And in that stagnation, there's still growth. Because there's an opportunity, there's possibility, right? And in that possibility, there's room for growth. And that's really what we're looking for is, do you see the room for growth versus being fixed in a label?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're not fixed to that label. That's just a description of your current state, and you don't have to stay there.
Yeah. Fuck, man. That's so powerful. That it's like I just wish every person in the world would take that on and like really fucking work on that, you know? Because that's like, that makes such a big difference. And I can see and feel how you've done that for me in so many instances in life where it's like, well, have you done this or are you doing this? And it's like, whoa, you even relate to me that I could be possible doing that? Fuck, okay. Like that was how I ended up, like when we first started hanging out years ago, it was like, we hung out like one fucking time together, and then I'm like talked into going on a trip to Peru, and I was like, I was like, wait a minute, Sebastian asked me like 4 questions, and now I'm fucking like on this mission to go do the next thing that like I know in my heart and soul I need to do. I just didn't have anybody to like present it in that way and hold that space for me. So, and to see the possibility, and I was just like, wow, it's incredible, it's life changing, and that's what's led, you know, to so many incredible things, meaning Maestro, meaning all these, you know, just to be able to have had the experiences that we've been able to have, as well as to be able to touch the people that we've been able to touch. So that's cool, man. What is your relationship to extreme emotions and feelings?
I absolutely love them, because I feel like when I have an extreme emotion, I'm actually moving through the emotion, right? Like I'm actually experiencing to its fullest, and boom, it just transcended. It transmuted, right? Versus kind of like tiptoeing in an emotion and just like, all right, I'm kind of feeling it, but it's not transmuting it, right? Like I've had moments where like just recently I had a mushroom experience. And holy fuck, I've shared this with you, right? This was the first ceremony that I didn't have cannabis to my disposal. And so because I've used cannabis and I've discovered that it was a crutch, right? To not actually feel my emotions to its full capacity, right? Like I found myself like going through these heavy, deep emotions. And so instead of trying to resist them, I invited them fully. And I remember like screaming to the top of my lungs, like I was a fucking animal, and just extreme. And then once I let that extreme, fully emotion run through my body, like it was just like, oh, all right, done. Right? Like just feeling it fully to the point that just like, all right, I just used it all, right? It's like the difference between gulping down a glass of water and sipping on it, right? It's like I can sip on it and it's going to take me like a whole hour to do it. Or I could just fucking gulp it all down, feel it fully, and it's like, all right, nope, done. Next, up to the next. Right? And so I feel like that's part of it, like allowing us to really experience those emotions. And sometimes that's hard, right? Because it's like we don't know what's going to come out, right? Like what is that, right? I do a lot of men's work, and when I do a lot of the men's work is like allowing men to actually fucking feel their anger and like feel the fucking anger that you've been holding on to, that you've been resisting, that you haven't been allowed to actually show. Because most of us, like, as men, this is like I tell women, this is like, you wouldn't be able to, like, hold container for me if I actually showed you my real anger, because it can be fucking scary. Yeah. Right? And so sometimes it's like it only a man can, like, really hold the container for another man, because we can be fucking scary. Right? I remember I was telling you this, that I did like 10 grams of mushrooms with one of my ex-girlfriends. And like, she had the bright idea to ask me something like super personal and emotional, and the moment like that happened, like, I remember like her face just went like, she got pale. She's just like and she got super scared of me. I was just like, well, don't fucking take me there if you can't hold the space for me to fucking you know what I mean? Right? And so it's like that being able to actually experience those emotions, I feel like that's where we get to actually transmute them. That's where we heal our emotions. Like, we're not just tiptoeing around it. We're really feeling it. And in feeling it, it's just like, oh, all right, there, done. I felt that, experienced it. All right, good. I don't have to hold on to it. I don't have to prolong that experience. I can just go through it. All right, sadness, feel it fully, and it's done. Mm-hmm. Anger, feel it fully, and it's done. Right? So I think it's important, and especially when it comes to doing healing work.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, absolutely, man. It's such a fascinating thing that, like, at least in America, we've been, like, men as a whole, it seems, have been programmed to just, like, ignore feelings, push it aside. It doesn't matter, gotta grind. And it's like, that's the wrong take on it, I think. It's exactly like you said. It's like, own that shit through, so now you're clear, and now you can go do your work without fucking stressing and giving yourself, all these, like, stress aches and pains. And, it's like, that shit ages us so fast when we don't just fucking own it. Boom. And I notice for myself, too, it's like, I pretty much do like what you just described. Is like, when I feel it, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and just go through the whole thing as responsible as I can and just make sure I can touch every piece of it, and like, okay. And as soon as I do that, like, if I look at myself in the mirror, like, my face feels and looks lighter, my eyes feel brighter or something, and I'm like, oh, I just did that. Like, yeah. But if not, like, if it's an instance where I'm like just pissed and I'm holding it and I just keep like extending it and I'm using my reasons to justify and whatever, and it's like I'm on a bullshit loop, like, I can see the darkness in my eyes and my face and my body, everything, and it's like, and I know too, it's like, especially because at this point in life in the last few years, I've been surrounded by mainly women for the most part, and it's like, if I'm like fired up or triggered or whatever, it's like everybody just scatters. And it's like, yo, I'm not going to hurt anybody. I'm just fucking pissed. But it's like, it's like, all right, as a man, I have to know what my emotions, the whole range of them. And just like I talked about before, when I got asked, like, dude, like, how can you consider yourself a real man if you don't cry and you can't feel your entire range of emotions? And I'm just like, damn, it's a good fucking point. How the fuck can I call myself a real man if I can't feel through feelings? It's like, fuck, I can go break my arm, I can go fucking punch somebody, I can go knock somebody out, punch somebody, whatever. But it's like, I can't feel my feelings? The fuck? It's like, I could take a punch to the face, but I can't feel my feelings? Like, damn, that's actually pretty weak. That's not strong at all.
Yeah, but then I do have to say that there's men that have been programmed and trained to not feel it. And they've been programmed and trained and shamed for so long that they've actually disconnected from that. Yeah. And it's not, oftentimes, it's not, like, I have a particular participant, right, that he's just like, I can't feel emotion. I can't feel it. I can't feel it because he's suppressed it for so long, because he's been told that that's been wrong for so long that he just completely disconnected from that. But then it's just like, well, what's the byproduct of that? Right? You have all the suppressed emotion that's literally like eating away at his soul, and he has no idea or how to even transmute it.
Yeah.
Because his only access to it has been shamed and wronged for. Right? And so it's just like, fuck, it's like this double-edged sword. It's just like, I have all this emotion because I'm not supposed to show it. My only way of showing it is a way that I'm supposed to get shamed for showing it that way. So it's just like this loop of like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right? And then we had an exercise where I'm just like, all right, let's go. Let's go to the fucking river. All right? Go. And then I was just like, all right, how the fuck does your animal scream? He's like, what? What are you talking about? right? And after like giving him some space, eventually he got rocks. And he just started to fucking slam him, right? But that to him was just so liberating to like he wasn't making noise, but the simple act of like being able to destroy something, right? And like you're literally getting rocks, and the rocks would like literally shatter of like how fucking angry he was, right? But that was a process to eventually get to a point where he was able to actually start to release it. But it's a process that oftentimes we haven't been given the space or been modeled on how to actually process that, especially as men.
Yeah.
Because that's dangerous, because it's not safe, because it's wild. It's like, yeah, fucking, we are wild men, right? Jordan Peterson talks about it as like, it's important to be dangerous.
Yep.
Like, that's where you actually know the moral compass, when you know you can be dangerous and you choose not to.
Yeah.
Versus, I don't want to, I don't know if I can be, and so therefore I'm a good person. No, based off what? You don't even know what it means to actually invoke that anger. Like when we need you to be an actual dangerous man, you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's the suppression. That's the suppression of the men. That's just like, if we don't know how to, and so hence the reason why it's so important for men to do men's work. To be around other men, to be able to have and hold that container, to be able to release those emotions.
Yeah.
And understand that it's safe to.
Yeah.
That it's okay to.
Yeah. Dude, totally. And it's like, I feel like kind of what this is pointing at too is just the power of vulnerability and the ability to just be authentic and to be vulnerable. It's like, that's when I talk to most men, and it's like, if we have like an interaction, and it's like, I try to just get to the realest shit as quick as I can. And like, I'm like, all right, if I can only leave this person with fucking, a minute worth of conversation, like, well, how can I leave this person best set off, And it's like, what I've caught myself just talking with just men, it doesn't even matter the age or the status or whatever, is like, I just keep catching myself saying, dude, vulnerability is a superpower. And like, each guy kind of goes, huh? Oh, yeah. And then it's like, because it's like, well, shit, me saying that is being vulnerable, and it just resonated with them. They're like, well, fuck, that's absolutely true. You know what I mean? And it's like, I know for at least you and I's friendship and brotherhood, like, it's all been built off of vulnerability, with which also just goes hand in hand with trust and loyalty. And it's like, through vulnerability, it creates trust, and that trust creates loyalty, and then that back to vulnerability. And it's just like this healthy cycle of good things, So vulnerability is like, I can't personally stress enough how fucking important it is, especially with ourselves first. And, like you're saying, it's like men especially get to a point where they can't even feel feelings anymore. Well, shit, if you just start talking in a vulnerable way, I feel like in my own experience, they kind of start coming in and they start coming back. And it's like, oh, okay, like, I get it now, See, the other part too is like, if you're a man, if you're a straight, let's just say for this example, if you're a straight man, I don't know how you're getting the best out of a woman if you can't listen and interpret feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you how could you really even please your woman to like even a half of the potential if half of it is emotional and feeling and based? And it's like, all right, you could do the physical, that's cool, but like, there's a whole other thing that's going to require you like being fucking real with yourself and feeling these feelings in order to, again, get the best out of your woman.
Yeah, look, this is one of the biggest complaints, and one of the, so slowly but surely, like, I've been transitioning and getting a lot of couples, right, that I've been working with. And one of the biggest complaints, specifically from the men, is that they don't know how to communicate with their woman. It's just like their woman is saying one thing, but then doing the other thing. And then it's like, no matter what they do, they're always in the wrong. I'm like, yeah, because you're trying to communicate to your woman like she's a guy. Because you don't understand that emotions are emotions, and emotions are fluttering, and they're not always logical. Yeah. Right? And so as a man, we're constantly trying to communicate with our women like it's black and white. And she's over here like, that's completely like not what she's trying to say.
She's like, it's pink and purple.
Right? And so it's being able to like to hold the container and understand that, oh, okay, you're just saying all of this stuff because that's what you're feeling right now. Okay, well, let me hold the container for you to be able to go and process all of these emotions. But if we don't know how to process our own emotions, if we don't know that that's how that works, well, then it's going to be very difficult to communicate that. Right, and fully comprehend that when it's being presented to us, right? And so a lot of the times it's like me being a mediator is just like, well, she's saying this and this. It's like, yeah, but that's not what she's actually saying, dude. Right? And then I'm like, and then they'll be there, and she was like, you see, he gets me, and so it's just like, well, yes, and this is part of the process, right? And then, or she'll be like, well, then how come he doesn't get me? And how come he's like, because that's not how he works, right? Because he's not looking at it from the emotional side; he's looking at it very logical, right? And so this is where that dynamic is so critical. Understanding our emotions gives us access to understanding other people's emotions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like it creates good listening. Like understanding our emotions creates good listening to a certain degree, because like, and that's where there's such big reward. I feel like from man to woman, it's like all the best, coolest shit that I've ever had experiences with women has been a result of me doing good listening, and being able to actually hear what's like actually being said versus me trying to logic everything. And it's like, this is a flowing wave, not a fucking dam, you know? And it's like, there's a big difference in it. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's so key and so important is we understand our emotions, and then boom, you get the next, you know? And it's like if that's going to give you access to more love, more everything that you want out of a woman, why would you not take that on for yourself?
Well, again,
you know,
because of the shame.
Yeah.
Shame, guilt, stories, programming. Like there's men that want to, they just don't know how. Yeah. Again, it's like the empathy, right? The compassion, like really recognizing like, oh, well, this is what you got. Like this is how you're dealing with this with the tools that you got at your disposal, right? Like most people, there's a lot of men that don't have role models of what it looks like to be a healthy, balanced, grounded man that understands his feminine and masculine energy. Right. And so when there's men that don't have that as role models, it's going to be very difficult and limiting to actually try to communicate. Right. And so it's a process.
Yeah, dude, totally, man. And I love that. So next thing, what's your take on parenting and being a parent? You're not a parent at this point, but what's your take on it?
I think it's such a beautiful responsibility. Right. Like the closest thing to being a parent is being a dog owner, right? And to me, like I have my both dogs, and like they're my kids, right? They're my kids, and like being able to like discipline them, and like right now with Bonbon, so he's a half pit bull, right? And so sometimes he can get aggressive, right? And so it's like understanding the responsibility of like what that means as a role model, as being able to set structures, being able to like to really discipline from a standpoint of like not like to take out my anger, but like to create a mode for them to live into, right? And so when I see a lot of the parents in my life, right, it's like seeing that responsibility of like what it means to be a father, what it means to be a mother, and that responsibility of the development of that child, right? And it's just across the board. It's for me, it's the most beautiful thing to be able to have that much level of responsibility, and that it's a learning process.
Yeah.
Right. Like no matter how many books you read about it, like it until you're actually there in the moment, like you're going to process what there is. And even that is it's all trauma based and triggering based. And like I see a lot of my clients is like, oh, I'm repeating what my mom did. I'm repeating what my dad did. Right. Just like, all right, great. Do you bring awareness to it? Right. To shift it. Right. To be able to change the dynamic of how things happened. Right? Like, are you going to continue to repeat the same cycles, or are you going to be the one that shifts that? So there's a huge responsibility inside of the parenting component, and like what it means to do the inner work, because I feel like it's a process in itself of doing the inner work, and it's going to show up in how you process and how you discipline your child, how you're going to discipline, how you're going to set the example, how you're going to be the role model, right? It's like, are you going to be the one that says something but does another thing, right? Like, don't do that, but then you're doing it. don't say that, but you're saying it, right? And so it's the role model, and just like really, I think it's just, it requires a whole new level of consciousness, right? Because it's like they observe everything.
Yeah.
And they see everything and they hear everything, and the things that you don't want them to hear and say, that's what they're going to hear and say.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. But outside of that, I don't know if I can speak too much about it because, like we said, I'm not a parent.
Yeah. No, that's cool, dude. If it's the case, what do you think adults should be learning from children?
The inner child, healing the inner child, connecting to the inner child, right? The imagination, the creativity. Like, yes, there's a time to be disciplined. Yes, there's a time to be an adult. But then there's so much I feel that we can get connected to when we enter into a child's mind, when we enter into their imagination, when we enter into the world, they relate to the world. I feel like there's so much to be explored there. And oftentimes when we look at it as adults, our inner child is wounded, right? And so I feel like it's a great opportunity to start healing that inner child with the presence and the help of an actual child, right? Like to see their purity once again, to see their innocence once again, and to be able to remember the value of that innocence, right? And to protect that innocence at all cost, right? To really protect the child. I think that's so important, right? Because there's so many adults that their innocence was robbed from them. Their innocence was stolen from them, right? And so it's just like, all right, well, then let's learn from that so that it doesn't continue to happen, so that we can actually create a whole new different dynamic of what it means to be a child, a safe child that grows healthy with the proper values, with the proper virtues, with the proper direction, with the self-initiation of self-mastery, of inviting them to think for themselves versus do as I say. It's like, no, but like, what do you think is the right thing to do? And really engage them to think for themselves.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, dude. No, I agree. I think that's entirely the entire key to the whole successful parenting, really, you know, like giving your space to be them and putting yourself in a space to learn from anything they could potentially teach you. I think that's the best take that any parent or future parent could have, because it's, you let the person flourish, you know. It's like you let the flower grow and blossom, you know, and just cut it when it got pretty, you know. It's like, no, we're gonna be here for seasons. Like that's fucking cool. So kind of another left turn again. Well, actually, okay. No, actually, let's say this. It's kind of still related. What would you... Let me think how to phrase this. What would you say? Okay. I would like you to leave a message for you when you are a parent. Because you're not a parent right now. So what would you tell you as a parent? This is kind of along the same lines as like, well, what would you tell yourself as a kid?
Yeah.
So we're kind of just playing with that, and we're going to see if it matches to when you actually have kids, and you're like, yeah, no, I was on the right path. Or like, what the fuck was I thinking? Because it all changes once they're here.
Yeah. You
know, and it's just for the sake of creating that.
What would I tell myself as a parent? To enjoy them, like to really enjoy their presence, to not get so caught up in work and being the provider that I forget to be their father.
Damn.
Right? And being their father is more than just a provider. It's a friend. It's a colleague. It's it's so many different things, right? And so to be, I feel like sometimes we get so caught up in like, I have to provide for my children. I have to provide for my children, that we forget to play with our children. We forget to listen to our children. We forget to spend time with our children. We forget, right? Like I reflect back on like my parents. Like my parents, they had to provide. And so probably like almost a good chunk of my childhood, I was home alone, and I understood like they had to work 2 jobs, right? So morning and evening. And so I feel like it's don't get so caught up in providing that you forget to actually be the father. I think that'll be it.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's so cool. I can't wait till when you are and you come back and revisit this and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that's beautiful, man. That's a really, I don't know why. I just feel it's very important. It's like to have those reminders of like before you're in the midst of the stress or the chaos or the whatever or the beauty of it. It's like, damn, there was a point where none of that existed. And this was my like purest way of thinking about this. This is my true north. And it's like, I feel like as you become a parent, you'll be able to like kind of use that as, and then have your true north with your parenting just be that much easier.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, that's fucking cool, dude. Okay, two last things. What is a day in the life with Sebastian look like?
Well,
I mean, you're always doing some different shit, but I mean, like, so what, like,
it depends.
right. No, that's cool. So just like, what's your day? Like, how's it look to you wherever you're at?
It usually includes my morning routine that which being here in California, I have not followed through with, but I'm okay with. Right? So it includes a balance of connecting to my body, moving my body, connecting to my mind, connecting to my purpose, my career, connecting to making a difference, to creating. Yeah, I would say like that's usually what it involves. It's moving, thinking, serving.
Damn.
Those three things.
I love that.
Moving, thinking, serving.
Dude, that's cool. I love that. Damn, that's like just such a healthy baseline.
And creating. Moving, thinking, serving, creating.
Yeah. Dude, that's fucking cool, man. That's way cool. I love that. Yeah, no, that's really deep, dude. That's cool. And I love how simple you're able to answer that. Last question, this is kind of just random, but how do you relate to music?
How do I relate to music? Oh man. So I immediately I think of like my dance company. I had a dance company called Feel the Music Productions, right? And it was all about like moving and like connecting and the vibration, and whether it's with lyrics and the words and all the sentimental value that specific songs bring, or whether it's the beat and the movement of it and how I get to move my body to the sounds and the vibrations, and whether it's lovemaking to music, or whether it's just exercising to music, or dancing to music, or studying or working to music. I feel it's a vibration that actually has an impact in the body, right? Whether we're aware of it or not, whether it's like I have some like jazz music playing in the back while I'm working, like there's something there that's like happening, right? And so I love music. I love music. And at the same time, I've also noticed how I'm becoming more aware of some of the songs that I listen to and the lyrics. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah.
Right? Like certain lyrics, I'm just like, I don't want to program my mind to that. Right? So it's just becoming more and more aware of like the power of music and subconsciously what it's happening to my mind when I listen to specific songs. Right? Like when I was younger, like I used to have like a book, like my thing was like lyrics. Like I would have a full binder of like, and this was like back when like you had to like print the lyrics.
Yeah.
And like lyrics.com or something. And I had like a full binder and I would just like sing all of these songs, and I loved to sing them. And now I look back on some of these songs, I'm just like, yo, I was singing this? Like this isn't necessarily the most empowering songs. Right? And like certain songs that I absolutely loved, I'm just like, yo, this is so depressing.
Dude, yeah.
And I would sing it just like so nonchalant, like not connected to the words that I was actually saying. Right? So I feel like music is extremely powerful and influential.
Yeah. Dude, fuck yeah. Absolutely, man. I like that. That's a cool take. So, dude, that's fucking cool, man. I feel like this was cool because this had a very different like tone to it, this whole episode. And I wanted that was what I was going for, was to paint that picture of like what it the type of thinking it requires to do the things that you do.
Yeah, this was definitely like an interview that I was not ready for.
That's the best, though, I think.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I appreciate you because it's made me think and like really. I've told this before. Like part of like being asked certain questions is like it has me reaffirm like my beliefs about certain things, right? Or like question some of my beliefs as I'm saying. I'm just like, wait, do I really believe that? Right? And so thank you for allowing me to like revisit some of these concepts, right? That oftentimes they're just kind of like just naturally there, right? But to be like, wait, but what do I really feel about this? What do I really think about this? Why do I do the things that I do, right? And so thank you for giving me the opportunity to kind of just like look at that as, look at it again from a different limelight.
Yeah, dude, fuck yeah, man. No, thanks for the vulnerability and thanks for being down to just be put in the hot seat, basically. And like, for any other future guests, I'm not willing to just grill everybody, but Sebastian's the one person I'm gonna throw in the fire every time.
For real, dude.
But only because I realize how much you really get what you talk about and how much you really live what you say, and that I know you can handle it. I know it's good for you, and I know it'll be appreciated and provide some kind of value in the long run. So, that's what it's about, is like being able to kind of lift each other up, even if it's uncomfortable or whatever. It's like, okay, dude, like, cool. This is all for the sake of goodness and really to help be the examples of what it can look like to have two people who come from some crazy backgrounds and experiences and life stories come together and be like, you know what? I take responsibility for everything that's fucking happened in my life. It's like, fuck, you do too? Okay, now what? Yeah. And it's like, that's cool, because then from this position, we get to create. We get to uplift each other, even if it's uncomfortable, and say whatever the thing is, because there's that trust, there's that loyalty. It's like, dude, I know you're never going to call me out to call me out. It's like, if it's cracking a joke or something, it's different, but it's like to really get called out, it's like, it's powerful, it's important, and like we really need that for each other to be able to do this in ways that are vulnerable, real, safe. And it's like you said, how you hold people to their highest possibility. I hope that this can show that to others, and it's like, oh, I have all these thoughts, I have all these feelings, or I've suppressed these feelings. It's like, okay, now I can actually start thinking about it. Now I can actually start putting all of this somewhere. I can start letting it down. I don't got to carry my past, my present, my future all at the same fucking time. Boom, put each one where they belong and let them exist there. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I think that was good, man. I appreciate it, dude. So tell everybody where they can find you, what you're up to, what what you've got to, all your plugs.
Yeah. Obviously Instagram, Ignite Self Mastery. Facebook, Sebastian Hernandez. Website, Ignite Self Mastery. So anything Ignite Self Mastery. And then we got the podcast, Ignite the Spark Within. Right. Right now I'm taking on participants or people that are up to like really creating, right? And more than just like healing, right? Because this is one thing that I often find, specifically around talk therapy, right? That there's a lot of usually just talking about our problems. But when that talk isn't attached to a future moving progress, then we get stuck in the just talking about our problems, right? And so really looking for people that are ready to actually move beyond just talking about their problems and actually create a life that they desire and start moving in that direction. So I have 2 spots available, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to support whoever is ready to take that calling, right?
Yeah. Dude, fuck yeah. You guys go sign up for his coaching. Go buy his book. Did you say the book?
No. So the book, It Takes a Leap, right? So It Takes a Leap. Matter of fact, I this morning, I was just like, you know what? I want to gift that. I want to gift an audio to somebody, right? So I would love to be able to gift that to someone in your audience, right? That reaches out to you. I would love to be able to gift that.
Okay, you guys, whoever's listening, if you want the book, it's a badass book, I promise you. How about this? I'll have I'll just have them message you on Instagram, and just say, hey, I heard Dan do podcast. I want the book. I'm the first,
Yeah.
Anything like that. And we'll make that happen.
Yeah.
Fuck, appreciate that, dude. That's fucking cool.
Okay, dude.
yeah, so you guys go sign up for his coaching, go buy his book, you clearly see where he's coming from. It's up to you guys now to invest in yourselves to get yourselves to the next level. And you're going to be on this journey anyways. You might as well go with the people who have it mapped out, have the roadmap, done the work, do the work, and are continuously on the path. And it's the right thing to do. I promise you guys. But yeah, no, like I said, like he said, it's limited. So make sure you go get your spot. Don't wait. It's like, give yourself this gift for Christmas, you guys. Truly.
Epa. Awesome, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you,
appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. This was, and will be the Damn Dude motherfucking podcast.
Boom.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
Boom.